Alright guys, welcome back to jforce Gaming, and what I have here is a power bank that really blows my mind. Alright, so why am I so excited about reviewing this power bank? Because this power bank can charge up to 6 devices at once, and it's really incredible. I'm really excited. Alright, it's from this company called Chargeasap. Alright, basically charge as soon as possible. Alright, it fits the name, and it's called the Flash Pro Ultra. Right over here, you guys can take a look at the name itself. Alright, and the power bank is right over here. Alright, and this is a 275 watts of combined output power. That is really insane. I've never seen any power bank this powerful in the market right now. Alright, so I'm really excited to open this. Alright, and talk to you about the few different features. So once we open it up, alright, we get a really nice travel case. Alright, so yeah, it's really nice, and they give you a free travel case. You guys can see right over here. And look at how nice this thing is, like carbon fiber. Alright, I think zip over here, very nice. Alright, and yeah, like I said, this thing is definitely great for traveling. Alright, why do I say so? Because if you have traveled a lot, if you have traveled before, you should know that power bank is the most essential part of your trip. Alright, and your phone, most of the time you'll be using your phone for payments, to use Google Maps for searching, navigation, translation, alright, or even like to do registration, phone registration, all this and that. It uses up a lot of power of your juice, alright, and you need a power bank all the time. But if this power bank can eliminate all any other power bank and just bring this alone, you are good to go. Alright, so let me just open up and see what we have inside here. Okay, we have 2 sponges. Alright, free sponge, by the way, if you guys are into sponges. Alright, and this is the power bank right over here. Damn, this thing is pretty huge. Alright, not too huge to the point that it's not convenient to travel around. Alright, especially if you all on the traveling, or or like you work on the go and requires you to have like your laptop, your earpiece, and probably your phone with you. Alright, and you probably have to bring like 2 or 3 power banks just to have enough juice, alright, for your laptop, for your phone, and for your earpiece. But with this really insane power bank right over here, alright, you just need this and you don't need the rest. Alright, you can just take a look at this. Alright, so this is the back, it's the front. Alright, we do have a MagSafe right over here, and I will talk about it later on. Alright, a few USB-C port and one USB-A port right over here. Alright, and yeah, it's really solid piece of power bank, and it's not even that huge. Alright, compared to my hand, you guys can see. Alright, it's not even that huge. Alright, can you see? Okay, this is my hand. I mean, I can hold it pretty fine. Alright, so yeah, and it's not very heavy. I think this weighs about like 700 to 800 grams. Alright, by holding it, I don't know where actually right how heavy it weighs, but according to how I feel it, alright, it's probably it's written here. Alright, it's 590 grams, so it's way lighter than what I expected. So 590 grams is pretty much acceptable. It's probably like a weight of like a 500 ml bottle of water. So if you hold 500 ml bottle of water, it's probably about the same weight. So you can about adjust to know like how heavy it weighs. Alright, so it's pretty solid, pretty well built. Alright, and yeah, so I really love the design, and if I'm not wrong, there should be an LED screen. Yep. Right, so there is an LED screen at the front here. You can see. Alright, it shows the battery percentage in the power bank and the output itself. Alright, so yeah, so the maximum output, alright, can go up to 275 watts, but individual ports has a different output limit. Alright, so one USB-C one port can output 140 watts. The next one can output 100 watts. Alright, and the C3 can output 60, and the USB-A one can output 60 watts. So which is pretty sufficient. So if you want to use this to charge your MacBook, alright, probably you want to connect to the 140 watts one. You guys can see right over here, alright. So they have the 140 watts one. Alright, they have the 100 watts one. So if you want to charge your phone, alright, or etc. You guys can see the different watts rating. So probably if I were to charge like my phone, mine's a Samsung Z Fold 5. Alright, for Z Fold 5, I think the maximum is about 25 or 35 watts. I'm not so sure. Alright, but if you're using like a S25 Ultra, it's probably like 45 watts. If you're like using those like Xiaomi or Oppo phone, they are probably much higher in wattage, and this thing definitely can support them and charge them at full speed, which is really, really incredible, right? So yeah, so they have the LED screen, so you can see the output wattage, alright. So sometimes if you see like probably why is the output wattage low, is probably, alright, although the output 140 watts, but you're seeing like output it at 25 watts or 30 watts, alright. There's one thing you have to keep in mind is that the cable also play an important factor in it, alright. So you have to have a reliable cable that is really capable of outputting that certain amount of wattage. So sometimes when you buy a certain cable, they'll say supports how many watts. So if you are if the output can output 140 watts, but your cable only supports 25 watts, of course the reading is also 25 watts. Alright, and alright, this thing, like I said, because why you can charge a 6 device, so because you can connect all 4 ports at once. Alright, maybe one for your MacBook, one for your phone, one for your earpiece, one for, I don't know. I have never bring like 6 devices while traveling, but you can have 2 different phones as well. So maybe just this power bank is enough for you and your partner. Alright, so you don't have to, you or your partner have to bring so many power banks. Just eliminate all and just use one of these. So probably you can use this port to charge your MacBook, your laptop. Alright, you can use this to charge your earpiece, your phone, and your partner's phone. Alright, and probably if your partner have an Apple Watch or Samsung Watch, alright, bam. Alright, just click this button, boom. You see the pop-up. There you go. Alright, so you can use wireless charging, and this wireless charging is about like 15 watts or something. Alright, is it 15 watts? Yep. Alright, so 15 watts with the wireless charger is a Qi wireless charger. Alright, and bottom here is also another wireless charger. We can use it to charge your like watch or earpiece that uses wireless charging. This is about 3 watts. Alright, so it's not too high. Alright, it protects your devices well. So you can use this to charge like 2 watches, 2 earpiece, 2 phones, and a laptop, and you can do them all at once. That is really, really incredible, right? I'm kind of curious about trying out the wireless one. I think if I'm not wrong, I just need to pop that out. Alright, so it's pop out. Just put my phone behind it. So it charged. Alright, it charged. There we go. It works. Fast wireless charging on my phone. Alright, you guys can see. So I probably use this to charge my phone. So if I plug in the C1 140 watts, you can see over here. Alright, I'll just plug it into my phone real quick. And yeah, it's super fast charging. So it's charging super fast. I mean, I cannot show you here, but alright, it shows on my phone super fast charging. So it's pretty incredible. So yeah, and okay, so there's one more screen I'm going to show you, alright. So the initial screen, alright, oops, where did the screen go? Okay, so this one will show like the remaining hours you can charge, and the minutes, so you can charge like, so the temperature as well, you can see the temperature. Alright, and if you press again, it will show like different outputs. Alright, so if you connect it to a phone, all this, you can monitor the output wattage on here, so you can see any like abnormalities, or like probably like, hey, why am I outputting 140 watts, but why here it's just showing like probably 25 watts. You have to like probably check the cable if the rating is rated 440 watts. So yeah, so it's pretty cool. Alright, this is a 25,000 milliampere battery, so which is plenty of enough of juice, alright, for you to charge like your phone. Probably like if your phone is about like 5,000 milliampere, so you can charge it 5 times, alright, over and over again, 0 to 100% 5 times. And probably if like your laptop, you can probably charge 2 full charge cycles. So it's a really huge power bank. And I say this is the best for traveling. Why did I say so? Because 25,000 milliampere, alright, and the wattage of this, alright, does not exceed the airline's guidelines. So this thing is perfectly safe to bring on board most of the flights. Like I say, most of the flight, because sometimes you still have to check certain airlines guidelines. Some might be lower and such. Alright, but most of the power banks that is below 30,000 milliampere is totally fine to bring on board, alright, and the output wattage is totally reasonable. So, in most of the flight, this thing can certainly carry on, but you still have to check your airline regulations to make sure that, it is 100% safe to bring on board. Alright, so yeah, so this is a really awesome travel companion that is really not very lightweight, but it is probably like a weight of a 500 millimeter the weight of a bottle of water. Alright, I will say that. Alright, because this thing is 590 grams, so a bottle of water, about 500 millimeter of water is about like 500 grams as well. So it's somewhat there. So you guys just hold a bottle or 600 millimeter of water. Alright, you guys just hold it there and you guys can see how much it weighs. Alright, and yeah, overall the build quality is really, really good. So many different ports and can charge out 6 devices as one. I think it's really, really incredible. I have never seen any power bank that can do so much things all at once. Alright, and one thing you might worry about is like, because since this power bank, outputs so many watts and it's such a huge battery, you might be concerned about safety. You don't really have to worry about that because this thing has a lot of safety features built in, like a thermostat, regulator, voltage control, all this built into that, into the power bank to ensure that the output voltage, the wattage into your phone is regulated. So it's like we won't like push, like maybe your phone is supposed 45 watt, you won't forcefully push like 100 watts, or that will damage your phone. Alright, and you want to have some all the sensors inside to ensure that this thing doesn't overheat. Alright, and to ensure that the battery inside here stays healthy. Alright, so everything will work safely. So you don't have to worry about safety issue because everything is protected. Alright, with a lot of sensors inbound, so you find, so if you detect any abnormalities or like overheating or what, it will automatically stops, and let it cool down before you auto charge again and charge. So this is really, really safe, and you can have a really peace of mind while using this power bank right here. So once again, if you guys want to check out this power bank, alright, I'll leave the first link in the video description down below, and go ahead and download it. Get it for yourself, and once you get this power bank, you can throw away the other power bank that you have and just bring this for your travel needs. Alright, and you are good to go. Alright, or you can just bring this on your daily commute. Alright, and you're good to go. You can forget about charging this thing, alright, for like a few days. You just need this power bank, put it in your work bag or your school bag, and you can just keep charging your phone when it's low battery, and I think it can last you for maybe like 1 week or 2, so depending on your usage time. Alright, and then this thing, and you don't have to constantly charge it. Alright, well, the power bank I'm currently using is only 12,000 milliampere, and I have to charge it every 1 to 2 days because I use power banks a lot. But with this on 25,000, I'm pretty sure, right, if I were to use this, I don't have to even charge it for probably about a week. So that's really, really good. So once again, if you guys want to check out this power bank right here, right, I'll just show you guys the COS charging. Pop, yeah, it just pop out. Really cool. Just press it back. Alright, so it's really, really cool. Alright, if you guys want to check out this power bank, alright, which is called the Flash Pro Ultra, you guys can check out the first link in the video description down below. Alright, and they also have 2 different versions. Alright, you guys can see this one is for Samsung users. Alright, they also have for Apple user, where the power bank is more designed for like Apple Watch, Apple AirPods and such. Alright, but because this is for Samsung, alright, it's slightly designed for Samsung. But if you want to use this to charge Apple product, it's totally fine with it. Alright, so yeah, so this is my review of the Chargeasap, alright, Flash Pro Ultra power bank. And once again, the link will be in the video description down below for you guys to go ahead and check it out. So that's all for today, guys. If I do this video really interesting and really helpful, do let me know in the comment section as well. And without further ado, this is jForce Gaming, and I shall see you guys in my next video. Peace out.
I don't wanna cry.